Good morning. So, I want to talk a little bit about the law of attraction and um, kind of give a little bit of a new take on it because the way that I see it this morning when I was in deep meditation, I was able to see it energetically. And the way that I see it is that it's an energy thing. It's like the law of flow. It's allowing. Um, See, it has to do also with gravity and the allowance of energy to flow through you. So there are energies all around us all the time. It's like radio, let's say like radio wavelengths that you can connect to. And we are kind of beacons for this. So that means that we're kind of filters. We can receive the energy, but we also put out the energy. And as it goes through us, we filter it through us, and we perceive it in a certain way, and we kind of manipulate it, and it comes out of us. That's how we are creators. We take this energy, this life force, this different aspect, different energies, and we allow them to flow through us. And so I was thinking this morning about the magnet effect, how when we attract things to us, how we attract things to us. So it's just like planets. The larger the planet, the more it attracts to it, that the stronger its gravitational pull. And I was thinking about this morning, how when we create that flow of energy through us, the more that we emit out, the larger the larger our effect on the world is, the larger of an impact that we're making, the bigger the beacons that we become, and the more flow comes to us. So the more that we are putting out, the more is coming to us. So this is like a flow that we can gradually grow. And think of it kind of like a faucet, and we're the faucet, and water is constantly coming to the faucet. And the more that we open the faucet, the more water will flow out, but the more flow will come to it too, as well. And when you are slowly opening the faucet, let's say, okay, so it's not exactly like a faucet, but it's kind of, you can see it that way. It's kind of like an energy flow that flows through you. So the more that you allow and the more that you put out from you, the more you're going to pull to you. And it is of little effort. It is not in a way of forcing, it's in a way of allowance, allowing the energy to flow through you. And the more you allow, the more circulation you create. So this morning, when I was meditating, I was imagining it as, allowing myself to be in full expression. It means shining my light out, and it's not in a way of trying to force. There is no force in it. It's a flow. So allowing myself to flow into, and that's kind of what I'm doing also with these videos, and it's kind of what I'm doing in my life as well. Just allowing my creativity to come through me, and the more I am an allowance of it, the more creativity comes. It's like something that feeds itself. I wrote down some points on this, so I'll read off the points. I was writing as I wrote down as it was coming to me. So there is no effect, there is no effort in attracting. So you do, the more you try to put out effort, like I want to be attractive, I want to, is the less attractive you become. And attractive also means in a way of attracting, being an attractive person. Think about it. The more that somebody is putting on a show and trying to push themselves and become more of this, and the more they're putting on a show and putting effort into it, the less attracted you are to that, because it shows signs of insecurity, of not allowing. When somebody has to prove themselves, there's a reason why they feel like they have to prove themselves. So that creates the opposite. There is very little effort in attracting. Attracting is more like just being an allowance of yourself to shine fully, and trusting in the universe that it will bring to you exactly. And you can kind of see it as, if you want if you want things to flow, then you have to allow them also to flow out of you. So it's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with um, uh, inspiration. You know, if you feel inspired and you take that inspiration and you express it into the world, you start getting feedback. It starts coming back to you and it inspires you more, and you create this circulation through your life. And also with food, you can see also with food or with money, people that try to hold on to their money, they don't create that flow because money creates money. Uh, Abundance creates abundance. So the more you let out, so I can see how it could be a little bit like scary in the beginning because you're like letting out and you don't know where it's going to, you have to trust. And there also is a time of adjustment. So let's say, and I'm not saying that you have to be sloppy with it, because there's always a time for adjustment and there's always like a pace. You slowly open the faucet. Um, there has to be judgment within it. Um, we have all of this body for our use, including our mind and including our judgment. When we get lost totally in the mind, then we're not allowing the universe flow to flow through us. But we also have to use our mind as a tool to kind of allow the adjustment, and know that there's going to be a void between when you start, you start giving the signal out to the world, and the world has to know that, that because we're constantly giving all sorts of signals to the world, and the more that we can make our signal clear, the universe understands our intention more clearly. um, the more that we emit the one signal, so that when we start, it's not like we get immediate results. We start, and then the universe is like, okay, listening. Okay, it sees that it keeps on going, it keeps on going, it keeps on going. And then you start creating that circulation. So there is going to be a time of adjustment, and you have to be in a time of allowance and a time of blind faith. A time where you understand it and you believe it, and you believe, in your faith is so strong that it carries you through the void, the transition period, the period of change. You understand that you are in change. You understand that there is a change here. So you will start allowing the flow before you start seeing the fruit. It's like you emit the signal out into the world, and it has to filter through the world and come back at you and create that flow. So it's like a vacuum effect. Once you start emitting it, and once you start allowing the flow to go, that is how you can control the flow. You control the flow by what you allow to go out of you, and trust that whatever you allow to go out of you is going to come back. It's like a circulation. You create this circulation. It's like a heart that pumps the blood. The first time it pumps, let's say the first time it pumps the blood, it is just going outward. It's going to take a few times to create the full circulation to where it comes all the way back around. So in the beginning, the heart is pumping without receiving back the oxygen and everything that it needs, but it's trusting. It's in divine trusting of the universe. And then as you continue, and as you become stronger, it's the flow starts coming back to you, and you start seeing the results in your life, and as a trickle at first, but it gives you the lifeline that you need, and the understanding, and then you can start creating this flow the way that you can enlarge the flow in any revenue of your life, any avenue of your life. Abundance, love, is you slowly start opening it, and as you open it, it's gradually grows and becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, and then you can, like, it's like a river, this energy. It's like manipulating energy. It's like playing with this flow of energy that flows through you, and we are beacons of this energy. We are like radios that receive the signal and emit the music, receive the signal and put out the music. And with the more we are able to receive the signal, the stronger our signal becomes. But the way that we control it is by first putting out the signal and trusting that it's going to come back to us, trusting that it's going to come back to us, even if it takes, like that heart pump, it takes a little while for it to come back. Um, so that is how we create this magnetizing to ourselves. It's like the art of the law of attraction. That's how we become gravity, like points of gravity moving through this mesh. And the more that we put out, the stronger of a magnet we become, the more that we're attracting to us. And so the stronger our signal, the more we are able to receive. And you can see it as, as a really strong person is able to carry more on their shoulders. And so the universe is divine in its understanding of this. And the more that we are able to have this transfer of energy come through us, the more energy that we're going to be able to perceive, that we're going to be able to allow flow through us. And all the different energies, every single different energy is all around us all the time. All the signals are everywhere. That's why what they say that the cell phones and radio signals that are all around us are constantly interfering with our signal. That's why I love coming here. I'll show you where I am. So I'm sitting across from that pillar. My doggies. And down there is the other side of the valley. So it goes all the way down there. And so it's kind of like I'm sitting in this place of resolve is what's coming to my mind, but it's a place in between. It's in this canyon, and I'm sitting right up against this stone wall. So I'm really, it's like purifying my energy from all the signals all around. So I'm kind of sitting in nature with the quiet. There's constantly airplanes going over because of the war. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to see if there's anything else here. So open yourself, be shining and open, and allow. So it's like an allowance. There is no effort in it. It's not, you are allowing this energy to flow through you. You are a divine being, and you're a unique beacon of light. So you are one of a kind, shining filter of energy. So that and perceiver, and also, and what's the opposite of perceiving? When you like put out your signal, your character. You have your own personality, your own way of seeing things, your own way of expressing yourself. So there is no effort in this. You don't have to try to be this way or try to be that way, or try to make yourself sound like that other person, or because you are unique in yourself. So just allow the energy to flow through you. There is no effort in it. And then once you realize there's no effort in it, then you can just be who you are. Put on your own, you're a one-man show. That is your destiny. I did that about that video about what is your destiny. It's that. It's just being a full, beautiful expression of yourself, whatever that is. You have a unique way of putting things into words. You have a unique way of transferring energy. You have a unique way of receiving from the ethers and filtering it into the world. So whatever that is, believe that there is, nothing is in existence that there is no need for. So just as my messages come through me, and there are people out there that exactly understand my language, because every single person speaks their own language, and understands the messages that I put through, all of these messages are all around us all the time. It's just the filter of the messages. It's how I perceive them and bring them through me that speaks to certain people, and to certain other people, other people speak to them. So just trust. You don't have to speak to everybody. Trust that wherever you put your message, it is going to go to the right people. It is going to find its place in the world where it's needed. So you can just trust in that, and trust in the divine guidance, divine timing, the divine like there's this divine way of things working out that I'm noticing more and more. And the more you notice them, the more you notice them, the more you notice them, the more you trust them, the more you notice them, the more you trust them, the more it's that same kind of flow. The more you start realizing that the universe has a language to it, and you understand the language, that you start reading the language more and more. It's like reading signs in nature. Everything is telling you a story. Everything is telling you a story, and is a reflection of you. And so it's kind of like learning how to trust. So the more that you allow to flow from you, the bigger gravity point you become. It's the vacuum effect. Okay, so when you start putting out, it's the same thing I was saying. You start putting out, you create this vacuum, because when you're starting to put out, the universe is saying, okay, wait, there's a void here, and there is no void in the universe. Everything is continuous and constant. So when you start putting out, it creates this vacuum effect. um, it's like there is no glove. There wouldn't be a glove if there wasn't a hand. Everything around you every space is filled. You move your hand like this. There are little tiny particles moving around your hand. There is no void in the universe. There is no, I can't move my hand from here to here and really fast and nothing will, the spaces are always filled. So there's kind of like a vacuum effect. Once you start putting your energy out, you start pulling new energy in. It has to be that way. It is always that way. Um, it's that way with everything that you see in life. So the vacuum effect. And then, so I have this other thing that I wrote down, but I think that is going to be a separate video because it's a completely separate, um, it's about releasing and allowing the universe to bring the answers. So I'm going to go ahead and sum this up here. So thank you for watching. So we were talking about, and I'm going to sum it up. We were talking about the law of attraction and a new way of looking at it, a different way of looking at it, a way of looking at a gravity pull, how everything is energy and it's a flow of energy. So the law of attraction really isn't just attracting to you. It's more like what is coming through you. It's more like you become a point of attraction because of the energy that you put out. So the more you put out, the more you create this flow. And I kind of see it like this network that we're connected to, this mesh network, to all the other people and everything all around us, to nature, to energy, to everything, to the ethers, to the universe. And so as you emit, it's like a light that comes out of you and it travels through this mesh network. You are creating a flow of it to come back through you. So the law of attraction really is the law of allowing energy to flow. So I really appreciate you watching. Thank you.